The title of the story is, You Can't Tell Me Nothing. All right? A long time ago, in the Buddha's time, there was a man who ordained as a monk. Now, as monks, we have a lot of rules to follow. And then there's also things that people would teach us to do. Do this, don't do that. Well, this monk, he wore his robe and the bottom was too high. And so a monk senior said, hey, you should wear your robe lower. It doesn't look good when you wear it like shorts. And he's like, I'm not hurting anyone. Nobody sees it. It's just you. If you just don't say anything, then it's no big deal. Gosh, leave me alone. When he's eating his food, he starts knocking his bowl. Bong, bang, bong, bang, bong, bang. So the teacher says, hey, when you eat your food, try to be more respectful and eat calmer and don't make so much noise. It's like, oh my God, now you have all these rules about eating. What's the big deal? It's just us monks. If you don't say anything, I don't say anything, who cares? Gosh, always complaining. He says you have to wake up at a certain time. He wakes up 5 minutes late and he runs to the hall to misses the chanting. And the guy said, hey, you came late. You know, everybody was waiting for you. You came late. He said, oh my God, it's just 5 minutes. What's the big deal? Finally, all the monks were just like, you know what? This guy is just not a good monk. He just doesn't listen. He's so stubborn. So they went to talk about him in the big hall. And the Buddha heard and said, hey, what are you guys talking about? And so they told the Buddha, and the Buddha says, you know what? This monk wasn't only stubborn and strong-headed this life. He was also this way in the past. Now, so he told a story. He said a long, long time ago, the Bodhisattva was born as an ascetic who was the leader of a group of people who lived in the forest together. Now, all these people lived together. They would pray together, meditate together, practice together, and they would all gather fruits and vegetables together. And they lived in peace and harmony, and the teacher taught them the Dhamma often. Now, there came a day where one of the young men, his name was Matthew. Now, Matthew was a little bit of a stubborn boy. And so what happened was, one day Matthew was out in the forest, and he saw a little snake, a little baby snake. And Matthew's like, oh, look at the baby snake. It's so cute. He went in and picked it up. And the snake was just wrapping around his hand and, being nice to Matthew. Matthew was like, oh, he likes me. And then Matthew brought him home. And now all his friends says, Matthew, a snake is a dangerous animal. You shouldn't raise it as a pet. Matthew's like, come on, what do you guys, look at how cute he is. He hasn't bit me yet. Nothing's happened. Why are you guys making a big deal out of this? And everyone's like, Matthew, a snake is not a pet. You should not do this. It's dangerous. And Matthew's like, oh, I'm going to do whatever I want. Leave me alone. So he tried to hide it. Well, of course, everyone's a tattletale. So they went to tell the leader. They said, leader, Matthew's raising a snake. And he said, leader called Matthew and said, Matthew, is this true? Matthew said, yes. It's like, you shouldn't raise a snake. You cannot change the nature of a snake. Snakes are dangerous. Matthew's like, but he loves me and I love him. He's my son. I'm going to call him Weluka. And so all the other people were like, well, if you're not going to listen, what are we going to do? You can't change a stubborn person because they're too stubborn. So instead of calling him Matthew, they started calling him Weruka's father. One day, so Matthew would put Weruka in a little bamboo tube. One day, Matthew put his snake in the little bamboo tube. And the leader says, hey everyone, today is the time to go in the Golden Gate Park and get some fruits and berries and vegetables, okay? Everyone's like, all right. Everyone grabs their buckets, their bags, their baskets, and goes into the forest. And Matthew closes the tube for the bamboo and says, okay, my son, I'll be back in maybe a day, and we'll see each other then. Love you. Bye-bye. And they go into the forest. However, on this trip, it took a long time. It was 3 days long. The whole time Matthew was like, oh, I miss my son. Oh, I miss my snake. Oh, I wonder how he's doing. I wonder if he missed me too. And when we got home, Matthew quickly rushed to his snake. But because you left the snake in there for 3 days, he didn't have anything to eat. He was mad. And so the nature of a snake came out. When he opened it, the snake bit Matthew. And then he died. And when his friends came and found the body, they said, wow, what happened to Matthew? Can we save him? It's like, it's too late. He already died. And so they had a funeral for him. And then the Bodhisattva had the opportunity to teach a lesson, which is people who are stubborn usually end up sabotaging themselves. When you don't listen to others, you're not receiving the information. And therefore, you might fall into a trap that you set for yourself. And so the moral of this story is, if you ever find yourself being stubborn and stubborn and stubborn, and you find yourself that you have this special attitude that has a special name called, can't tell me nothing. But then there's a saying that my sister and I like to say is, when you have this attitude, you know what the saying is? I can't take you anywhere. So, you don't want to have this attitude. And if you realize that you do, it's not too late to change it. Just don't be stubborn. Listen to other people. See if what they say makes sense. Don't be so quick to say, no, I'll do what I want. Sadhu.